I wrote a thing called Mistakes. That's one of the beginning of major mistakes in my career. Working for Phyllis was perfect. I named the show the Beautiful Phyllis Diller Show because she is beautiful. I mean, you take away the makeup and all the stuff, and she's a very pretty lady, and very bright, and very talented. She played the piano, and she's terrific. And writing for her was fun, but we made some big mistakes. And number one, somebody, I forget who it was, came up with the idea that it might be great to have stands that the people are sitting in that move. You move the stands instead of the sets, you move the stands around. I said, oh, the world is going to watch the show to see the moving stands, which was stupid because the world watched the show to see Phyllis. Then we put in somebody for her to talk to every week, a famous person like Hugh Hefner. Boring, boring, boring. I mean, these are mistakes. And the show just never took off. Although there were wonderful things. We had as the announcer Norm Crosby, who's famous for his malaprops, so he's the announcer saying all kinds of mistakes. Rip Taylor, who was the hairdresser, every time he said something funny, he threw confetti from his pockets. We had a quartet of young people singing every week a song in tribute to a historical person who never got their full share, like President Polk. And it was terrific. The parts that were funny were very funny. And we had some good guests. We had Jim Brown, was a famous football player from Syracuse, and tough guy, and he had been accused of dropping a woman out of a window in real life. He held her out, he didn't drop her supposedly. So now he's on trial, and we had him booked because he was famous. And NBC says, no, hey, look what he's done. And we said, to our credit, hey, he wasn't convicted yet. So far he didn't do it. And we're not gonna fire a man who's just accused. So he was on the show. Now he comes in, tough guy. And we get a call from, I got a call from Sid Smith, the director. He said, Jim Brown is on his way to see you. I said, why? He said, because he's mad at me. I said, oh, what for? Because I told him he's got to look this way, and he wants to know why he can't look that way. So now Jim comes in the office, and I'm sitting there waiting to be beat up. And he walks in the office. I said, Sid called me, told me you didn't want to look at it. I said, the reason you look that way, Jimmy, is that's where the camera is. You look that way, they see the back of your head, which may be nice, but it's not what we're paying for. We're paying for fronts. He smiled and left, and that was the end of it. So that was that show. But there were, it was too bad. That show was a good show. The format of the show we thought we were going to go with was similar to Jack Benny's radio and television format, where it was a family. It was his life, and Dennis Day was the singer on his show that came in and out, and Rochester was another character who came in and out, and Mary Livingston was his real-life wife. And so we thought we'd do a show like that, with Phyllis Diller's real life. And so I hired all the writers from the Jack Benny show. Plus I brought down a kid from Canada. He and his partner had written one joke for Joan Rivers. They all used to, the women in the comics used to exchange jokes because they were always looking for writers. And Phyllis had a trunk full of jokes from all the writers, from all the different people. And this was one of the writers she gave me. And the joke was Joan Rivers' jokes, that she was driving through the Catskills and knew she was in a small town when she saw a sign, Joe's Hospital and Grill. So we read that joke, we loved it, and we hired Lorne Michaels and Hartley Pomerantz.
Wow. From
Canada. And when the show was canceled, I called George Slaughter, who was doing Laugh-In, and recommended them to him.